Okay, guys, right away we're gonna get into it. You're gonna need yourself a mixing bowl and a measuring cup. We're gonna start by measuring out 2 cups of flour.
So, 1 cup.
And we're gonna go ahead and add 1 cup of cornmeal.
And we'll do 1 cup of cornmeal.
And this is fine cornmeal. After that, you'll go ahead and add 1/2 cup of sugar.
Add
A half cup of brown sugar. Or less, depending on your diet or how sweet you want your bread.
Our next ingredients. Our next ingredients is butter, which my lovely assistant.
After you add your sugar, you're going to add next your leveling agent, which is baking powder. You can add a yeast mix to it if you know what you're doing.
1/2 teaspoon of salt, or 1.
And let's not forget the salt. I'll recommend. This is 1 teaspoon, and I didn't 2 shakes of a teaspoon. I didn't use all of it. So 2 shakes of a teaspoon of salt. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm terrible at measurement. As we progress, I'll ensure that I have the correct measurement and units. Okay, so we're gonna put a sliver, a thin cut of butter in it. And this isn't a part of the recipe. This is my doing, because I like to have a very buttery bread. I like my crust to be crumbly when I'm eating it. Originally, if you don't add the dough to it, the festival should have a firm crust. Okay, so here's the baking powder we're talking about, and as I said, you can use yeast as a substitute leveling agent or baking soda, but today our agent of choice is the powder. And you should look like this. So your mixture look like that. You're going to take a spoon, a large spoon, and cut the butter into the flour. I'm going to use a knife to just rub it in. Constantly mix it and rub it in until it is in. You mix it until it's invisible. Excuse me. Until you can't see the butter no more. And once you're finished with it, it should look something like this. I'm gonna give you guys a view in a second. What it should look like. Should look something like this.
I'm sorry. So you break it up until it comes to a crumble. Notice how
butter all broken up into the dry mixture. After you have your dry mixture, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get some water to knead the dough. But this is dough kneading, and when you start to fold the water and the flour together, it is going to be sticking. And if your hands are dirty, it will clean all that dirt from your hand and your fingernails. So you should make sure you have very clean hands. Get underneath them fingernails or clip them before you start cooking.
okay.
Once you get that done, you come back and you're going to introduce the water to the dry mixture, but you're going to be very gentle. So you're going to add some water, work the dough, and when it becomes dry or the water becomes lost to the mixture, you add some more water, and you keep doing this until you've worked your dough to a consistency that I'll show you in just a minute, as soon as I get all this water worked in. So Let's go over the ingredients again. It's 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, half cup of sugar, a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a cup of water. And this is the mixture for your festival, fried festival, which is notoriously served or usually served with escovitch fish or seafood in Jamaica. But this morning for breakfast, we usually have it with a form of greens called callaloo. You guys call it collard greens and salted fish. But today, fusion, we're using spinach and scrambled egg as a substitute. So this is what your dough is supposed to look like if you mix it properly. As you see, it's not stretchy, it's breaking apart. You want it nice and brittle. You don't want to knead it too much. So we step over to the hot skillet and we'll put a generous amount of oil into the skillet and we'll make sure it's perfectly heated. You want a nicely heated pan. And I usually get the temperature of my pan by putting my hands over the pot to test it. So once you can feel the heat from a distance away, your pot is ready, and you'll pinch yourself off a nice piece of this dough here, and you'll proceed to roll it. I like to form a small little oblong strip and then press it flat and give you a form like this. In my country, they just roll it and just drop it in the oil like a little hush puppy. American called of this hush puppy. Yes. But anyway, you're going to get it nice and golden. Like bullions from Fort Knox. Speaking about bullions from Fort Knox, remember to like, subscribe for our giveaway in a couple of days. $50 to assist you with your turkey. Okay. So when you have a beautiful golden like this, you'll flip the side. Repeat, fry the other side and repeat until you have the amount of dough, or sorry, the amount of festival you wanted for your breakfast. It's a simple recipe, guys. As I say, I just realized that the American version of this is called the hush puppy. Okay, so we'll go on to phase number 2. Again, we're back at the skillet. We heating it up, but this time it's for the onions. You're gonna chop up, onions, green pepper, garlic, and you're going to introduce them to the skillet, a hot skillet. Make sure it's sizzling like this. Guys, if you could just smell the aroma. There ain't nothing more beautiful than a roasted onion. I love the scent of roasted onions. Anyway, you made sure your seasonings are thoroughly fried up. That's what we call them in Jamaica. Seasoning. Any herb that you have to put in the pot to enhance the flavor. So make sure your seasoning well fried up, nicely done. Then you'll beat 3 eggs in my case, and you'll add it to your well cooked onion or your seasoning mix. One mistake that people oftenly make when preparing egg is egg do need to be thoroughly cooked. So even though it's scrambled egg, I'm not rubbing it apart furiously. I'm letting it sit, and as I see the area turn white, I'll then break it apart and let the yellow area get to cook. And then when you get a lump, or when it start to cook, you can start then speeding up your stir or breaking it apart more rigorously until you have something looking like this, well cooked throughout. Then you'll add your spinach to it. And then you add your spinach. For me, in order not to make a mess, you can gently lay the spinach on top, let it cook, then you stir it in nice and easy. Also, I like to add a little bit of
all girl post anything on
seasoning
our
for the
pages.
spinach sake.
Not since
And
she
then
promised
you
the
just
menu.
cover, let it steam for a bit,
Not
and
even the food
then
that she promised to
voila, it is. You have a
Nobody was
beautiful mixture look like this. And forgive me, the pot is a bit small. It could be mixed in more. Then you'll plate and
Hey
serve
guys,
something looking
welcome
like
back.
this.
Today
And as I said,
we have
guys, thanks for
Jamaican
watching. Like,
festival
subscribe,
served with
comment. Tell us what you're
scrambled
thinking.
eggs
Tell us if it's
and
good, it bad, or it
spinach.
ugly. All comments are welcome here. Good,
And it is
sir.
served
And remember, you
with a
start at
warm
what you
cup
may call it studio
of
first.
coffee.
Remember,
The original version of this dish
our
is
Thanksgiving
Festival with
and the prize
African
only get
Saltfish and
bigger.
Callaloo.